How's it going, guys? This is Isolate here, bringing you ICBA week number 5 against Deebz, coach of the Calgary Flame Wheels. So this week we're going up against Deebz, like I said. Dan, if you want to call him by his real name. And yeah, you can see the team that he is bringing and the team that I'm bringing. I uploaded a team builder the day before this video, or maybe it's like the morning before this video, but I don't know. It should have been Sunday, and this goes up Monday. But yeah, anyway, you can check out the team builder if you want to see what team I'm bringing. But yeah, so anyway, Deebs is not won yet, but he does have a pretty interesting team. We did end up trading him Tapu Fini and the Battle Bond Greninja, so that's cool, I guess. But yeah, he actually didn't end up bringing Tapu Fini. I actually predicted 5 out of 6 of his mons. I predicted everything except the Smeargle. I predicted the Tapu Fini instead, but he did end up bringing the Smeargle, which is fine. I kind of knew what kind of Pokemon he was gonna bring. Like, I knew he probably wasn't gonna bring Politoed. I knew he probably wasn't going to bring Pikachu. He didn't, obviously. His team is kind of short as far as depth goes. Like, it's kind of obvious what he's gonna bring. And I knew he wasn't gonna bring Serperior. Serperior is a threat, obviously. But I kind of knew he wasn't going to bring it because I have so many answers to it. So yeah, like literally everything on my team except for Zipstrike can take it on. So, I mean, even Zipstrike can take it on 1v1 probably. But yeah, let's get right into the battle. I ended up leading with my Mantine because, I felt that he'd either lead Smeargle or Gliscor. I wasn't sure if he wanted to predict me to predict the Smeargle or something like that, but he ended up just, leading Smeargle, whatever. So here I realized that he's probably going to Spore here, and if he does have speed investment, he's going to outspeed me and get the Spore off. And I don't want that, so I'm going to go right into Moongus here. And he's going to obviously go for the Spore, which is fine with me. So now I'm going to just click Sludge Bomb. I don't really know what he wants to do. He could switch into Arcanine or whatever, but he's just going to go with the Stealth Rocks, which is fine with me. Just being able to chip this thing down is useful. I was hoping this would 2-hit KO, and it actually does 2-hit KO, so that's good. And here's going to go for Nature's Madness, which is kind of fine with me. I was kind of not really surprised by that play, but like he could have brought in something else, like the Arcanine or something, so that he could save the Smeargle to maybe get up rocks later, because I do have Defog on my Mantine, so if I do get that off, like, hazards aren't a problem for me. If I get the defog off. So he does bring in Blade, the Scizor. He goes for a U-turn. Now, if he had brought in Arcanine there instead of Scizor, I probably would have sacked off something else. Because I wasn't sure if that was going to be Adamant Banded Scizor. If it was, then I wouldn't have needed Amoonguss. But since he did bring it in there and he went for the U-turn, that pretty much reveals Adamant Band, which is fine. Whoa, okay. Which is fine. So, it's okay. He goes in Arcanine here, which is fine with me. I'm just going to stay in now that I'm too low to really do anything, even with Regenerator. So I'm just going to click Sludge Bomb, as he does actually reveal that he goes for Roar here, because I do outspeed, so he goes for a negative priority move, which is completely fine. I'm guessing he predicted my Mantine there to switch in to take the Flare Blitz, but I wasn't sure. At this point, I didn't know what kind of set he was, so I wasn't sure if he had Wild Charge or not. Even with the Wackenberry, I wouldn't really want to take that hit. So I ended up just trying to sack Amoonguss, but he roars me out into Mantine. So now I can just defog the rocks away, which is really cool. So he goes into Jawbreaker, which is Drapion, which is kind of fun with me. I do have the Wackenberry Mirror Coat. Not that I don't really think that's going to play a role in this match, but who knows. So I'm going to go into Majesty here, predicting the knockoff. He does in fact go for knockoff. Judging by the damage, he probably has a little bit of offensive investment, I think, but it could also just be, that could have just been like a high roll with no investment. So anyway, he ends up going for EQ here, which I did really think he'd have. I did think he'd have it. So that's fine. I'm just gonna fire off a floor cannon. So I thought he might want to go into Arcanine there, but he ends up just staying in there, which is fine. He told me after the game he's actually especially defensive Arcanine, which I don't really entirely agree with, because like, even like an offensive Arcanine with Morning Sun can take on Volcarona and Magearna, and like it can do so much more if it was offensive. like with wild charges and stuff like that. So I don't know. He ends up just sacking off Jawbreaker. Here he goes for knockoff, predicting my switch, which is fine. Like I didn't really need Majiran at that point, so I was just sacking it off. But luckily, it gets a kill there, so that's useful. We have 2 kills with Majiran now. So here I was really expecting, again, just Arcanine to come and go for Flare Blitz, but because I still didn't know if it had Wild Charge or not, so I couldn't really switch into Mantine, and I didn't want Latias to take that much damage from the Flare Blitz, from a potential Flare Blitz. So he ends up going into Gliscor though, which is completely fine with me, because I knew he'd definitely over EQ there. He couldn't risk, going for knockoff and risking me getting a big Ice Beam off on him. Even though I was at -3, it still would have done a good amount. So here he does go into Manahan, the Arcanine. I actually predicted the Scizor here, and I went for the Heat Wave because my mentality with that was that he probably wasn't going to stay in because he couldn't really hit me with much, and I thought he might want to go into Scizor because he's like, oh, it's a Flame Orb Guts variant, he won't have Heat Wave, I can switch in the Facade and be fine. So I went for the Heat Wave trying to catch that, but he ends up going into Arcanine with the Intimidate, which is, I guess, a smarter play for him, just in case I did have the Heat Wave, which I did. So I go to Latias here, which is kind of fine. I don't really think as long as he doesn't have Toxic, he can't really do much to me. So I actually go for an HP Fire here because I felt like it was worth the risk. Because even if he stays in, there's not much he can do to me. So I do fire off the HP Fire, getting rid of the Scizor, which is a huge threat out of the way. Really glad I got that over and done with. So Scizor's gone. Now he brings in Greninja, which is fine with me. This is not Battle Bond Greninja because it needs to get a kill in order to do the Battle Bond thing and get all the boosted stats. So I am just going to stay in here, live it with the Colbert. I didn't even need the Colbert. Like, since I had the Colbert, if he had flinched me here, I'm pretty sure I would have been able to take another one and just fire off an Ice Beam, or fire off a Thunderbolt and take him out. It was a roll to take him out. It was like a 50% chance to take him out if he was completely offensive, like with no bulk investment. And I did end up getting the roll with me, so that's nice. At this point, he's going to go into the Gliscor and just fling the Toxic Orb, which is interesting. He had to have a good amount of speed investment in the Gliscor to outspeed me, so that's kind of interesting. So that shows that, like, he could have been max specially defensive, and I still would have OHKO'd with this Ice Beam, but obviously since he had speed, he was not completely specially defensive, so Ice Beam does take him out. So that's just, it is what it is. I mean, there's only a few coverage moves that are really needed for his team. So, at this point, Manahan is kind of, I mean, it's his most valuable thing on his team at this point, but, like, there's not much it can really do as far as, like, he can't 6-0 my whole team, because I do have Mantine here, and if he has Wild Charge, then that's his entire set. Like, he'd have Flare Blitz. Actually, no, we've only seen Roar and Morning Sun now, so he goes for E-Speed there, which is fine. Now he's going to fire off a Flare Blitz, so that's his entire set. He has Extreme Speed, Flare Blitz, Morning Sun, and Roar. And since I do have Roost, I am going to be able to just go for the Roost here and pretty much just stall him out. Even if Scald, like, he only has 6 Morning Suns since it's max. The max PP for Morning Sun is 8, and he's already used 2, so he only has 6 left. And I have like 14 Roosts left, so I'm gonna end up, stalling him out with the Scald and whatnot. You can see there's only 2 more turns in the match because he just ends up quitting. So we gave the last kill to Mantine because it deserved it, let's be honest. Mantine putting in that work. So yeah, that's pretty much going to be the game. I mean, he's going to go for another Morning Sun. Or no, that was his second Morning Sun, I think. Yeah. So that's cool, I guess. Was it? Yeah. I think it was. But yeah, so I'm going to go for Scald here. It doesn't 2-hit KO, but I don't really need it to. He doesn't have lefties, so that just helps. And at this point, he's going to stop the game because he realizes that he can't win at that point. He can't beat the Mantine unless somehow. But yeah, it didn't happen, so we did pick up the 6-0 there, which is cool. It's definitely cool. Unfortunately, Zebstrika didn't get to play at all, but it's all good. But yeah, pretty pleased with our performance here. We did what we had to win the game. We're repping that white, all white. I don't even know why. I just changed because I was kind of bored with it. I was kind of bored of the orange and black or whatever. So I ended up changing the appearance. I changed my clothes in the game, so that's cool, I guess. Anyway, But yeah, next week we go up against the Brisbane Heatrans. Should be a pretty interesting game there. Honestly, I think he's got like a sand team-ish or something without Escadrille. I don't know. Anyway, stay tuned for the team builder next week, and yeah, for all your league content needs, tune in. Okay, alright, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys next time.